Everyone, Devin here with Rat Boy Collectibles, and we are hijacking the Move Over Kids podcast today because Ken is going on a trip to Michigan, as he stated last week. So, starting off, we have myself, Devin, William, Spencer, David,
Hello.
and last but not least, my friend that we met at the Retro World Expo, Russ Lyman. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
It means a lot, dude. We were trying to get Russ Lyman onto the show a while ago. Things happened, but we finally got him. So
we're here now. We made it tonight.
Just got to make sure we get a chat. Anybody have a chat open?
Just got the chat open now.
All right. Just let me know what we got going on. So, anyway, wanted to bring up. So, has anyone else heard on the Nintendo PlayStation console that it was like a prototype unit from years ago?
Yeah, that was a while ago. I heard
3D World one. What, the Super Mario 3D World one?
No, Spencer, we're talking about there was a prototype that was virtually unreleased in a way. There's only
the Sony Nintendo crossover.
Yeah, exactly. It was rumored. It was rumored for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's only one in existence at the moment, or at least it's known, and it's apparently going up for auction very soon, which I think
someone sent me that. I actually saw it in person 2 years ago.
Oh, really? So what did that look like up in person?
Yeah, I mean, I flew out to Portland. I'm from Connecticut, and I went out to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and they had it there, and I got to meet the father who found it with his son in the attic or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And I think he was the one that worked at the company that was getting rid of stuff. Mm-hmm. But he had Street Fighter 2 in it, like a Super Famicom one, and you can play it, and it looked pretty sweet. I got some video of it, rid of stuff, and the guy was really nice, and taking pictures with people. But I guess he kind of did his rounds, went to the convention, showed it off, and maybe it's time now he wants to get it into a collector's hands or maybe a museum or something.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. Sorry about that window that just showed up. But yeah, I was seeing the guy that has it now, unless the facts that I was looking up were wrong, he turned down a $1.2 million offer from somebody in Norway for it.
Whoa. What could be holding out for?
Norway.
Right, that's it.
But I don't know, just like that's a big number. I'm actually surprised that he turned it down, or unless some people thinking that it's actually worth a lot more.
I mean, something like that, it's hard to put a price tag on because there is only one of it. So it comes down to what people are willing to pay for it or what you want to let it go for.
Valid point. Yeah,
My question is, did he want less or more?
Sorry, Spencer?
Yeah, Devin, did he want less or more for it? Like,
I'm assuming he probably obviously wanted more. Who's not going to want more for something that's like...
Just
hear me out that for a minute. That would be insane to go less on that one.
I remember when I watched a bit of history on that bloody thing. Like, I've seen thousands of videos and millions of views about the Sony Nintendo crossover. Beta 64's video, Scott the Was' video, all sorts of videos like that. And it really, really made me think, like this is how the PlayStation was created through this Nintendo CD thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, absolutely.
And this still shocks me to this day, how this whole console war is kind of Nintendo's fault, you think about it. It's kind of Nintendo's fault.
Just about.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it's a bit peculiar, though. Like, going back to the subject of this person who's tried to sell this CD machine. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't think it has a name. It's just pretty much the Nintendo PlayStation. Russ, do you know anything else about it?
Yeah, I don't think it has an official name. It was still kind of in the beta stages, so it's just known as like the Nintendo Sony station. or the Nintendo Station, sure.
SNES Station.
I like
the SNES Station.
That's pretty cool, actually. I like that one.
That's a good one.
But yeah, I mean, you're the only one out of us that has actually seen the thing, but that's pretty sweet to see.
Absolutely, yeah. And I said I can't understand him waiting out for like a bigger bid over $1 million. Like,
well, my thing is like if he's going up at auction, somebody's probably going to start like throwing mad dollars at him, I would think, or it could be wrong.
Right.
We'll have to see.
But when I went out to one of the retro expos out in Vegas a few years ago, the was it Classic Gaming Expo. They were working on all the guys that are down in Texas with the Video Game Museum. They usually hosted the expo, and the year that I went, it was a whole other group. It was Retro Gaming Roundup, the guys hosting it, and the guys from the guys were still coming in and bringing the stuff for the museum. So I'm helping them bring the stuff to the museum room, and one of the boxes, I can't remember who it was handed to. I can't remember if it was me or if it was somebody else, but they're like, now be careful not to drop that. There's a color Vectrex in there, and there's only one in existence.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Christ.
They trusted that with you.
I can't remember if it was me or if it was somebody else. I just remember them saying, it's the only one in existence.
And hello, everyone that's joining in. So thank you for jumping in.
You pretty much had like God in your hands. Then pretty much, you pretty much had $1 million in your hands. Pretty much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no telling how much that thing would be worth.
Played one of those Vectrex systems?
No.
No, I've only gotten the chance to try one of them that one time. It was pretty cool. I was very glad to see that.
I would have had the opportunity to get one. Somebody my wife knows had one for years, and I didn't even realize till this year she had passed away.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where the system is now, but if she had planned on selling it, I was one of the first people she was gonna sell it to.
Now this just makes me think of, like, we're talking about somebody who had this Nintendo PlayStation thing in like an attic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to starting with Russ. Like, what's like the rarest toy, collectible, video game, something like that you've had that you don't have anymore that you wish you still did?
Oh, the only thing I really got rid of that I kind of regret is I had my Sega CD collection.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of towards the end of GameStop taking in retro stuff. And I actually went to GameStop and traded in my full Sega CD collection. It wasn't a complete collection, but what I had. And I left the store with Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. Like, that was it. And it was like Pop Full Mail, Vey, Lunar, like $100 games plus the system. And I basically got enough store credit to buy, $50 GameCube game in a steelbook.
Oh my God.
I have that steelbook too.
That does hurt.
And I love the game. I had a great time playing the game and all that, but now I'm like, man, I wish I had those games, and like I can't spend that kind of money getting that collection back up. So I have a Sega CD, but I usually just get the games disc only now because it's cheaper.
Yeah, very true. So David, what about you? Besides your Lego thing that you got, let's move past that. You still have it.
I don't know if I don't think I have a stick to hold here, man. I think I've had everything that I've really wanted. I did lose my original N64, a couple of those games that I've had since I was a kid.
Wow.
But I don't. I mean, I'm a hoarder, so I keep everything I find essentially, unless it's like a sports game or something.
Very true.
But yeah.
Spence, you got anything like that? Any rare item, collectible toy, something like that?
Oh God, don't know. I'm thinking. It's a Minecraft thing. So they did these kind of like limited edition, kind of like books in a way. They did these. It's not really something too interesting, but it's like they're kind of like crafting books in a way. They did. Okay. And the edition I had was an edition which came with all of them. And the thing is, this was when I was a younger kid. There was like this primary school kind of like book fair kind of thing going on. Okay. And what you could do is you could exchange a book for another book. So I put this whole collection of these 4 books, which the collection was quite hard to get. And I took this one book, which I barely read. And basically my friend got the whole collection. And I was like, oh,
that's terrible.
And the second thing was I sold Mario Galaxy, and I didn't buy it for years until about 2019. I don't know why I sold it.
I don't know.
So,
Like I get to that point too where I have games that I know I like, and then I end up trading them in to get something else, and then I'm like thinking like, crap, I really wish I didn't do that. The thing that I wish I still had, thanks to me losing my house a little while ago, I had a pretty mint condition see-through green N64 that was pretty much stolen from my house that I wish I still had. And my brother, when he was younger, my parents did this, I should say, bought him literally the entire collection of the old Kenner action figures from the Star Wars movies. So he had every single one of them. And I remember him showing me because he had the cardboard pieces on the back. I wish I still had those. Those would have meant a lot to keep, just because I actually started collecting them again myself. But I only have like 5 of them at the moment, but still. Anyway, William, did you already drop in for the thing that you've had?
No, but I was taking a look to see. So I've got a few things. I've got that one piece that's out there somewhere, and I've mentioned it on the show before. It's a lenticular that was in a display for the Bouncer and Final Fantasy IX. And depending on which way you look at it, it shows either game.
Oh yeah, I remember you showing that off on a past show.
Yeah, but it was part of a bigger display, and it's just the lenticular that was inside of it.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of games, I was just looking up on eBay to try to find it again. There's no results for it anymore on eBay, but Shepherd's Crossing 2 for the DS. Mine is still sealed, and as far as I know, there's 2 copies that were selling earlier this year that sold.
Saying 2 copies.
One for 300 and one for 500.
That kind of segues into what I was saying before. Now, you guys all know Bayonetta 1 on the Switch was only digital here. In Japan, in the Non-Stop Climax edition, they had the physical copy. I'm only just now seeing those show up. I'm only just now seeing because I wanted one of those myself. I should have bought it when I could have got the whole box for 150, and I didn't do it. That just that cartridge alone is going for anywhere from 150 to 250. Would you actually pay that for a Switch game?
Absolutely not.
No, I haven't even paid that I haven't even paid that for a PS2 game that I want. And now that
was the Dot Hack games.
No, actually, I've got the complete Dot Hack collection, except for the trilogy, the one that was in 4 parts. I have all 4 complete with their instructions and the additional disc.
Well then.
The most I've spent in the game is 100. That's the most I've
I don't know, like I'm not like I like Bayonetta a lot, but personally, like I want to do that, but then I'm just saying like I shouldn't.
I mean, I got mine on the Wii U, and I was happy with that.
Yeah,
but I guess it comes up to a sealed. Oh, okay. I mean, I played mine because I never played the series on Xbox 360, so I was introduced to it on the Wii U.
Okay. But then, I cut you off there. What else were you going to say?
Oh, well, I was going to say, like, it comes down to collector's editions, and I think what's included in those, like, you know, when one of the Master Chief collector editions came out and you got a helmet, or even Titanfall came with a giant statue. There's the original. I could see paying $150 for that. But
true, yeah. Like I just walked into Best Buy, and I'm not really sure why it's still there. But there's that Death Stranding collector's edition that had the kid with the statue, and he's holding that like tube baby, which I don't know what else to call it. So that thing, it looks cool, but I don't know if I would ever spend that unless it was on like a clearance rack.
Spence, that's that was the PS3 copy, wasn't it?
This is the Xbox.
Oh, Xbox
360.
Can I just say, I think this is probably the most common edition, but gotta admit.
But actually, back in that time, it was actually like the definitive way to play it because the PS3 was apparently not very good, and the Xbox was better.
Same with Just Cause, though.
They did some updates.
Yeah, but you guys may have heard of Just Cause before. Just Cause 4 released for the PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And the thing is, same with when Just Cause 1 released. It was always the definitive way to play it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And it's always felt like, you know, the games like Bayonetta and Just Cause like third person games, it's always felt like Xbox was the definitive way to play them. I always felt like that with Xbox games. They were always better to play on a like third person games on an Xbox. They never felt good in the PS4 in my opinion.
But David, so would you drop that type of cash on a Switch game?
No. I love Bayonetta, but I wouldn't pay more than retail, really.
Valid point. Let's
I
ask
have it
this.
for the Wii U. It's pretty good.
I still have
on
that,
my shelf real quick.
That personally, I still have that game case on the Wii U still sealed too. That's one of the last Wii U games I still have.
Yeah.
Well, but let's rephrase this. What game system would you buy a game and spend that much money on? So, William?
Okay, so sorry, I was looking for something on the shelf. I didn't see it. So, as you guys know, I collect Intellivision stuff.
Yes.
There's Spiker for the Intellivision. I'm gonna have to pay $1,000 for a copy.
Oh,
So
wow,
that's gonna be something. Yeah, I mean, I think the most I've paid for a game so far, a regular edition of a game used, was I paid $90 for Waterworld for the Virtual Boy.
Okay. Would you drop that kind of cash for Jack Brothers on the Virtual Boy?
Ooh.
I'd have to drop more than double that. I think it's around 250. I'd have to drop for that. But
I saw
I'm willing.
a Japanese copy of it show up on Mercari for $100 or something like
Yes,
that.
I do not want a Japanese copy.
Well,
I want a US. Yeah, I want a US copy, and I don't need a boxed copy. I just need the cartridge.
But Russ, I'm actually kind of interested. What type of money have you spent on one single game, if you don't mind me asking?
Right. No, I mean, I'm pretty, let's say, restrained to paying a lot of money on games. I think the most maybe I spent was maybe $80. Nothing crazy. But that he brought up Jack Bros, I was thinking for maybe 2020, I'd like to try to get a complete Virtual Boy set. So I was pricing everything out.
Yeah, that's the last one I need. That's the last game I need.
And I seen one when I was in Portland this year. They had a complete in box copy. A guy was selling for, I think it was $750 for the complete in box.
I don't need a boxed copy.
But again, I would want to do loose, and I think Jack Bros is going for about $350. And I wouldn't try to spend my actual cash on it. I would want to sell some custom items I made or games and put that money aside and purchase the game that way.
Speaking of which, I'd be interested in a custom controller from you.
Hey, all right. Yeah, I got a bunch of people. I got all my orders out for Christmas, and videos are coming out on them soon. But yeah, I'll definitely take orders. I do lots of custom NES controllers or Super Nintendo.
No, what I was trying to find on my shelf, because we were mentioning different games and stuff, Catherine, which was recently, within the past couple months, re-released on the PS4. I think they released it on the Xbox One as well.
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Catherine Full Body is still a Sony exclusive. I just bought it again.
Okay, so for the original release, there are 4 different covers for that.
Wow.
What? I didn't know that.
There are 4 different covers. There are 2 covers for the PS3 and 2 covers for the 360.
And also, I just wanted to stop here. It's your boy Tipster. I'm assuming, Russ, you got him over here. Thank you very much for joining in.
He's a good dude.
And JR, thanks for joining in, dude. So go on, William.
Yeah, so I think it was Best Buy that had the other cover for these games because they didn't like how the original covers looked. And I was trying to find the game on my shelf to see if it was there, but it's not there at the moment. But the only cover I'm missing is the alternate 360 cover. They cropped in on the image to, so you couldn't see any of the suggestive parts.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I literally just got, because my GameStop unfortunately was closing, and William, this is going to segue into what you wanted to say here about ThinkGeek. But my GameStop in my local mall is closing, so they had percentages off of everything in the store. I got Catherine Full Body brand new, the Steelbook edition, which I was very excited about, for $40 or something like that. I forgot how much I sucked at that game. I cannot even get past the tutorial.
I did pretty good at it. My friend gave me a controller, and I got past one of the levels that he was far into. I want to say a side note. Why are we talking about all these sexual games tonight?
We're not bringing up what they are, what's in them. I'm finding the cover. I'm finding the cover for
but
it.
William, go ahead with what you were saying about ThinkGeek before.
Oh yeah, so most of the ThinkGeek mall locations are closing, and I happened to be at the one. It was the very last day of them being open on Saturday.
Okay.
But apparently, the location, at least the one near me, is turning into a GameStop, but it's going to be one of their test stores, one of the new concept stores.
Okay.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah, so people are claiming, "Oh, GameStop's closing. Oh, goodbye, GameStop. Ha ha ha, GameStop closing." They're not going out of business. They're kind of getting rid of all the extra stores. The area I'm in right now, I could go to 8 different stores within a 30-minute radius of my apartment. It used to be more than that. I used to be able to get
walking distance. No,
that's driving distance. And where I used to work up in Maine, there are 3 locations. There's one in the mall, one outside the mall, and one just down the street.
Yeah, like, dude, when we went to the Retro World Expo, I'm pretty sure we ran into like 3 or 4 different GameStop locations when we were just driving around.
Yeah, there are. Like people are like, oh, they're closing 500 stores. Oh, it's the end of them. Yeah, they could close 1,000 stores. You know what? You know what happened? You know what happened if Best Buy closed 1,000 stores? They'd be out of business. They have about 1,000 stores.
Yeah, the Best Buy in my local town just closed too. So literally, there's a dying mall and a Target, and a Walmart, I should say. Let's give them that. But anyway,
okay. So I found a picture of the cover, the alternate cover for Catherine.
Okay.
So, hold on.
Is that safe for work?
Yes, it's very safe. Very safe for work.
Russ, you know the new YouTube rules.
So,
we'll be fine.
This is cop appropriate.
If it'll show up, that's the alternate cover.
Oh, okay. I now know what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they cut. Yeah, and the one for the 360, they did the exact same thing.
All right, that I didn't know about. But there, Ken wanted me to bring this up. Just wanted to jump into another thing. Red Dead Redemption 2 is apparently rumored to be showing up on the Switch. Did anybody else hear about that?
I read up a little bit on it.
David, you shook your head. Did you hear anything on that one?
No, not until you guys brought it up.
Okay. Well,
in the chat.
I'm just kind of curious because I'm not really understood. Like the article that I found said something about a Switch controller being found in the textures for the game. I'm not really understand how that makes any sense. If somebody could elaborate on that one a little bit, maybe.
I think, I think what they're trying to say is kind of like, I think color configuration for a lot of things, like people can use colors as a way to like say that if something is coming out, 'cause a lot of people do that, like, let's say Gears of War, for example, like, Gears 5 has kind of like a white, red, and black kind of color. Like, let's say there was like a red, white, and black kind of controller. People would just assume Gears 5 immediately, but like, it's not going to be Gears.
I guess I see your point.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people will take colors as like a way, but those colors could represent anything. Like, like even like what games could go with those kind of Gears of War colors that are by Nintendo? I'm thinking.
And what's going on, EPS? Go on, Spence.
I don't know. I haven't got any clue what games kind of would go with those colors. It's a bit weird, but like, a lot of people do go kind of like when it's like with the Mario Sunshine thing. As soon as they said Mario and Sunshine in one tweet, a lot of people thought that means Mario Sunshine's come to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But just because those two things have appeared together, like, it doesn't mean that is going to happen. Like, a lot of people will think that, but it's not.
Yeah.
Same with the colors. Like, just because those colors were together doesn't mean that that's going to be a thing.
That's a valid point. I think people are just going to draw speculation no matter what happens. But besides that, I mean, seeing The Witcher 3 come to the Switch, I kind of feel like that it would work. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, it already has Skyrim in on it, and that's a huge game, so I don't see why Red Dead wouldn't be able to come, other than legal issues, I guess.
My only thing is because Red Dead's got like a really detailed graphical system, or at least I thought it did. So
it's a pretty nice looking game. I'll give it that.
true. But I'm still holding out, like Ken said, because I really want to have Fallout 4 on the go. I would totally restart Fallout 4 just to play that.
Really? How many levels is Fallout 4?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
Isn't it one?
I mean, like, you know, I've not played it myself, but like, I swear there's like 1,000 levels in that game. I swear there is.
Well, Fallout 4, just like Skyrim and just like Witcher, is just immense. I mean, there's almost unending things you can do with it. So,
Right, it being an open world game, it depends how many side quests you want to do. Are you staying with the main story? Do you want to upgrade your armor and do this? Like I'm playing through God of War on PS4 now, and they switched to that format to where it's open world with side quests and upgradable magic armor and all that. And I'm usually not into those games. I couldn't get into Fallout really, any of them. I'm more straightforward. Show me where to go. Like I really enjoyed the Doom game. It was just run and gun, button mashing. Yeah. Show me where to go. I'm kind of enjoying God of War. I just get kind of anxiety of like, what armor should I be upgrading? Should I be doing this side quest? Like, am I wasting time doing this? Like,
or like, what am I missing if I do this?
Right. Am I wasting an hour just doing this side quest to get some gold? Where I
that
really
just reminded me. I don't know if anybody else got annoyed by this, but I love the Dead Rising games. But the thing that just drove me up a wall about that is the timed missions that if you didn't get to them, you would just completely lose out.
Anything timed in a game like that irritates me.
I love Dead Rising, but that always drove me up a wall.
If there is a game where it gives you a timer, and if you're not playing fast enough, you can't get to the end, that bugs me.
Yeah, I agree.
So EPS was just mentioning Three Houses. I've been very cautious about trying to pick that up again because I know it has one of those timers in it.
Oh, it does? I didn't know that actually.
That's what I was told, is that it has that, especially with the Persona games where it goes day to day.
Okay.
You know, you reach a certain day, that's now the end game. Like you have to complete it by a certain day. That just really bugs me. I have to go and get a guide for a game like that.
Yeah, very true.
Because my anxiety just goes right up with stuff like that.
Yeah, I get it. But anyway, like David, so what have you been playing lately, my friend?
I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, man. I mean, it's I don't know what came about me, but the bug for Call of Duty just kind of washed over me. I think it's probably just the Modern Warfare branding. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite multiplayer experiences ever.
Yeah, I like the original Modern Warfare when it came out, but I haven't played this new one yet.
And I think that, you know, with them like grabbing some of the original designers from 12 years ago now, it just adds to the charm. The game's really polished, and it's really addicting the way you upgrade your gun. It's just so random for me to just be very, I guess, into a Call of Duty game like this. I haven't done that in literally over a decade. So.
Yeah, true. I mean, personally, like, I just randomly got back into my PS4 because, as I was saying in our Facebook chat, that I was thinking about possibly selling my PS4. But then I picked up Last of Us, and then I unfortunately had to return it because the Last of Us game that I was given to by GameStop was so damaged that it wouldn't play, which just destroyed my
that is so weird. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with PS4 or even like Xbox One now. They're on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And the thing people say about Blu-ray is you cannot scratch them. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. And here's the thing, because people think they're unscratchable, they don't get checked. When they're traded in, they don't check them because of that whole thing of they don't scratch.
I don't know. Like, I think that really is subjective when it comes to the GameStop, because there's the one that's over in my local town, another local town to me, the last remaining GameStop that I can get to within 20 minutes, that they check everything. Doesn't matter if it's a Switch game, they'll look at the connectors, which they should be doing.
They may now be doing that, but I remember at one point, especially when the PS3 was the system to get, they weren't checking them.
Yeah, I like a while ago they didn't have, or at least in my area, they didn't have that computer screen that they could hook up the controllers to and actually go up, down, left, right on all the buttons, and they would just go, oh, okay, toss it in a pile, and then they would go to the next item. so they would never check. I like that they actually are getting a little more stringent with it, but I guess it really depends on where you go. But
Right.
like I was saying, I mean, the games that I was about to sell my PS4 because I got bored with it, but then I picked up Catherine. I suck. And I wanted to be able to start up on Last of Us thanks to David's blessing. I'm going to try that again soon.
Yeah, that's in my
here.
queue too. I said I picked it up on the PS3 not too long ago. So
yeah, I saw
it
your
before, so.
Instagram post on that. That's actually kind of another reason though. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to buy it.
Yeah,
I have to.
It's time, man. It's time.
Yeah,
But,
that's the annoying thing is like I started the game and then I went to the bathroom. I come back and then it's disc cannot be read. I'm like, awesome.
I was trying to find it. I have I got the collector's edition of the new version of Catherine.
The one with the sheep?
Yes, the one with the sheep.
If my GameStop that was closing, the one that I got my Catherine disc from, if they had that, I totally would have went that way, but I just got the Steelbook instead.
Oh, and guys, check your Best Buys too, because River City Girls is out.
I got that already.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Great game.
My Best Buys in the local area do have it. I'm still waiting for my the collector's edition, whatever that one's called, the classic edition or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great game, though. I enjoyed playing that. I don't know if we're on the Best Buy subject here. Did you guys see Shaq Fu was $5 on the Switch?
No. Oh, physical copy?
Physical copy. I tried to. I remembered last minute because I saw it while I was on my phone, so I didn't want to order it. I was like, I'll do it when I get back. And
True.
I think it was Christmas night, and I went to the site, and it went up to $10, and I was like, that's past my threshold. I'll pay $5, not $10.
Yeah, I agree. I was tempted to get that too, but I was like, no, I'm not going to spend like a 20 spot on that one. No, thank you.
Let me look to see what it's at now. Yeah, it's at 10 right now.
10.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was originally 30.
And JR says actually the 3DS version of Shakedown Hawaii is on sale, I think still, for $7 Canadian on the eShop Boxing Day sale. Okay, interesting. I didn't know Shakedown Hawaii was on the 3DS actually. News to me. Alrighty then. William, I thought you were going to say something. I think I got sidetracked.
Oh no, I was looking up the Shaq Fu to see how much it was.
Oh, okay. Well, still very interesting. Has anybody gotten the chance to play Luigi's Mansion now that it's been out for a while?
I haven't even picked it up yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
For shame to all of you.
I played it for, I'd say, about an hour. I was doing a live stream for Extra Life on back in November, and it was one of the games that I popped in. I had gotten stuck though, so I moved on because I didn't want to stay there. I forget how you're walking on the screen and you have to walk towards the screen to find doors in the game, and I got stuck like in the garage downstairs, and I was like, my friend's like, you got to walk towards the screen to find the door that gets out. And I was like, yeah, of course.
I'm a little bit stuck at the moment personally, but not too bad. I buy so many games that I got too much on the back burner because of that. But yeah, I definitely need to get back into it. But there was the point that I was trying to get to is that the DLC, I don't think it's dated. Wait, no, part 1 is April 30th. Part 2 is July 31st. There's the DLCs that are coming out. I think they, David, didn't they announce that on the Game Awards when we were watching?
The what? Sorry?
The Luigi's Mansion DLC.
Did they? Yeah,
I
they did.
can't remember. I think it was during
so.
the Game Awards.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But just in case no one, maybe you didn't catch it, there's 2 different parts, and there's going to be mini games for the Scream Park thing, which I've yet to play yet. Maybe it's because I don't know if I unlocked it specifically. And there's going to be outfits for Luigi, so I'm actually kind of interested to see how that goes. Everybody always knows I'm obsessed with Luigi just a little bit. So, yeah, I'm excited for those DLCs, personally.
They're like, Mario has thousands of outfits in Odyssey. We could give Luigi a few in a DLC.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of so like. Luigi needs some love. He's always so scared and trying to save Mario from all his nonsense.
I say costumes are a good thing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're just
I
cosmetic.
feel like Mario's a bit ungrateful.
Like Smash, I mean, I could always use more skins.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's still really bad that they got rid of the Fire Mario skin. I'm really
Oh,
salty
really?
about that. Yeah, it's not in the game, but Fire Luigi is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't know that. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm. So, wow, David, I'm assuming you've still been playing Smash like crazy lately.
I mean, I played last night. Every time I hang out with my family, my cousins, it's always like a constant, in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just all reliable. It's like, hey, we're bored. What do you want to do? Oh, you want to play Smash? Okay.
Yeah, valid point.
Yeah.
It took me until we went to that it's a Smash sin here. Until me and William went to the convention in Connecticut till I actually unlocked all the characters. Because I wanted to have the Smash playing on the table the whole time, which ended up being a hit, I have to say.
Did it get heated?
A little
There
bit.
were some heated people, yeah.
Yeah, there was I think 2 groups, William, that were like they stayed there for at least 30-40 minutes.
Yes.
And we just lost Spencer. I don't know what just happened there. He'll be back. Oh, there he is.
And
go on.
Plenty of coins spent as well.
Oh yeah. That was another. I don't remember if I told anybody about that one, but so David, you know about the coins to be used within the game, right?
Right.
So this little kid just jumps on, starts playing, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm spending your coins on this, that, and the other thing." I'm like, "What? Don't do that." I didn't want to be a jerk, but I didn't know what else to say.
I could hear the sound, and I hear I'm spending your coins. I'm like, uh-oh.
That's whatever.
I mean, we could laugh about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really care about that stuff. As long as I had all the characters, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, people were having a lot of fun. And that's
yeah, it definitely was a hit. It got a lot of people to the table.
Yeah.
Now, who here thinks that we're actually going to get Nintendo Directs coming up soon?
I think we're gonna have to wait till February again. I think it's February again because, to be honest, I feel like they're becoming less common with January now. I think it's just gonna be straight to February.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so too.
I
What's
can
up,
see
David?
that. I said I could probably see that as well, especially if they're trying to time it around announcing the 5th DLC character, and then a month later releasing it, or a few months later. So at this point, let's see, Terry was announced a day after my birthday, I guess, on November 6th, and he dropped on that day. Actually, sorry, he was announced on September 5th. So it was roughly about 2 months from announcement to release. So I would say
that's about been all of them, because I think Joker was released about a couple months after too.
Actually, Joker was the one that had the most months between announcement and release. He was announced in the Game Awards December 7th of 2018, and he wasn't released till April.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, it was and every other character has been about 2 to 3 months in between them. So I would say if they announce the 5th DLC character in this direct, let's just say it's January 15th, right?
Yeah.
That would put it about 2 months from when Terry was released. So seeing that they haven't even announced the character yet, it's just kind of weird. Maybe if they wait till February, they can do a shadow drop, announce him, and then say that he's available that day.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're probably going to do something like that, because I think this is a big gap since last time we had an announcement which was Terry. So, right. I don't know. But I definitely think that we're going to get a Nintendo Direct soon, because, I mean, the only things that I can think of off the top of my head would be the Animal Crossing game and my No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, was Animal Crossing pushed back? Do I remember something about it being pushed back, or was it
delayed?
Out?
It was 2019, then went to March 2020.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, my initial thought was March. I don't know why I thought that was the original date. I thought it was pushed back from that, or is still coming out in March.
I think that and Luigi's Mansion was announced in the same direct almost 2 years ago. You guys remember
that long? Holy crap!
September of 2020 will be 2 years that it was announced.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay,
that's a bit. That's a long. Yeah, time flies.
Russ, what do you think we got coming up in the next one then? Have any predictions?
I could see them more information for Animal Crossing because that'll be coming up soon.
Well, yeah. But Russ, do you have any predictions on what we might be getting out of the inevitable Nintendo Direct that would be coming up?
I mean, maybe they can tease. The only thing I could think would be a Metroid Prime trilogy getting ported to the Switch.
I hope so because I don't want to play. I don't want to play the trilogy with motion controls.
I bought it on the Wii. That was probably the most expensive game I think I bought on the Wii. I think that was like $80.
But did you get the Steelbook one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have the Steelbook.
Yeah, mine is not Steelbook.
But again, like you, I said I don't really want to use the motion controls. Like I'd rather just have a joystick. And I'm not too big into the first person aspect. I really love Other M. I had a good time playing that. A lot of people didn't like the story and all that, but I like the third person Metroid games. But if they port it to the Switch, I'm sure I'll play it because I'm going to want to play Metroid Prime 4.
And I've been saying one of the things they need to do is if they want to do another Metroid and kind of expand the universe a bit, collaborate with the team that worked on Phantasy Star Online and do a Metroid game like that.
I haven't played that one, so I don't know.
I've never really played Phantasy Star, but I know what you're talking about. But I can see how that would be really cool. I don't know. I keep thinking that I want them to come back, Nintendo in general, I should say, with Star Fox Adventures. I don't know about anybody else, but I really like that game.
I think that just to kind of expand on Will's point, if they like, I've always conceptualized, Metroid. If they could do something like a hybrid of like Destiny, where you have like your exposition and discovery within like a planet is first person, and then when you I'm sorry, that's third person, and then when you go into battle or other types of scenarios, you go into first person, and it's loot based maybe, and you can like customize your vehicle and your armor and blaster. I think if they really did something like that, that would be amazing. That way you can like, grab a group of friends, go on a raid, go to some planet, in the Metroid universe. That would be so cool, I mean, I don't know.
I would say, what they could do if they wanted to try to, I guess, extend some life. I don't know if you guys played the Starlink series.
I loved where they had actually,
and they have Star Fox in there. You can easily add a Metroid expansion using her ship in there.
Yeah,
I would buy that in a second, dude. And
then if they release a freaking ship like that you put on your controller, I'll buy it. Again, that if you go to Best Buy, I think it's like $10 for the Starlink physical copy where you get the R-Wing.
It makes me so annoyed that I spent the full retail value when that game first came out, but it is a really solid game, and it's just a cool little spaceship thing. I just have the spaceship on display.
Yeah, that's what I just keep it.
No,
boom,
right
there.
right now, the pack with the R-Wing, $6.
I was watching
for that. I'd say for that, I would buy it just to get another R-Wing.
Yeah, I'm actually tempted to.
$6 right now.
I was watching Arlo's YouTube channel, and he had the video where he had this massive stack of Starlinks that he bought just because.
Oh wow, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
And Mario and Rabbids is $20 right now.
Yeah, that is a good game, very good game.
I'm put off by the Rabbids.
I am too, but it was really well put together. My only thing is that I am horrendous at RTS style games, and I could not get any further past this one point where Donkey Kong comes in.
I got to give Nintendo props for being pretty well. Maybe this isn't true as of late, but for them to play nice with other studios, and then lend off their Mario IP to Ubisoft in the Rabbids world of all places,
Mm-hmm.
And then for a franchise that has arguably been more successful than Rayman himself, it's kind of bizarre, but I'm glad that it's worked. I mean, it's got Grant Kirkhope's music in it, which is really nice. I mean, the game won a bunch of awards too. It's just a great game, and if anything, I mean, it'd be cool to see a sequel. It was really successful.
I'm surprised that they haven't either already have something planned or just going to drop it suddenly. But yeah, it was a really well put together game.
I kind of just want to see a new Rayman game altogether. Not
I
another.
would love to see another Rayman game,
Yeah.
but I would want to see it in the I forget the title. I can remember the cartridge in front of me, the N64 game. That was green. The Great
The
Escape.
Great Escape.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I was right. Okay,
Mhm.
I love that game.
Yeah, I played that on the Dreamcast. That was really good. But I have the one. It's like somewhere over there, but it's really good, man. Rayman games are really great.
Yeah, definitely. Did anybody play the side-scrolling one that they ported
Origins?
over from the Wii U or whatever?
Origins is probably one of my top 10 platformers of all time.
I got
It's
it on
so
the
good, man.
Wii U. Yeah, I have to go back and finish it, but
Yeah.
it looked beautiful and it had so many different characters you could play.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, this is fantastic.
Mhm.
I do love the art style on that. It's really well put together game, I have to say.
Yeah.
I've only ever played the PS1 game.
Oh, really? Okay, you sir are missing out.
And the Game Boy Color version.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Rayman to show up at Smash, even though everybody
know,
says
put him
that
in
it might not
Smash.
happen.
That'd be
I
How
think
many
he would be
more
a perfect
characters
character.
can they announce for Smash though? Like logistically.
Well, we have one
Uh,
more within this first pack, and then there's a whole other 5-pack that we have coming that
Yeah,
we
we said
still
we
don't know
have
anything about.
6 promised. So
They're like, we're stretching this baby to 2022.
I'm man, I was okay 10 years ago when they put Sonic in it. I was like, man, I'm cool with this. But then when, 3 titles later, I'm like, you know what? Okay. If we're going to do this again, Banjo-Kazooie, let's do it.
But yeah,
And
dude,
it's
watching the
Sonic.
video where you reacted to Banjo, seeing your heart stop for a moment, it was the
Yeah, man.
greatest thing.
Full circle.
Yeah.
It's one of the best days of my life, man.
I don't think I obviously love Smash, but I don't think there's a character that I had that much excitement personally
Mhm.
for. I just liked Smash in general. I mean, my main at the moment is still Little Mac, and I'll pretty much always will be unless they release another one that I become a little more accustomed to. But
Right.
When they were doing the announcement for Smash 4, as I tend to call it, so I was watching the video announcing it,
Mhm.
and as the video's going on, the video froze, but the audio kept going, and they did the part where they announced Mega Man being in there,
Mhm.
and for some reason, my mind was at, oh, come on, just stop freezing and let me see stuff. And then the music comes on, and my brain wasn't processing that it was Mega Man music. And then it gets to the other music, and I'm like, oh my god, Mega Man is in this.
Yeah. I to go back a little bit to 2013, man. I like told myself and set like 20 alarms, and I was like, I gotta wake up to watch it because it was an early E3, I think, for Nintendo. And I woke up late, I overslept, and back then game trailers was my like source for
Oh,
information.
I loved game trailers. Now it's Easy Allies.
I'm man, those Easy Allies are great, dude. I met 5 out of the 9. And they're great, dude. They're great guys, man. They're just so wholesome.
Yeah, I just wish they were still doing game trailers, though.
Well, I mean, game trailers just became, it was just bought out. Viacom, man. It's just the big corporations of the world. That's a different topic. But so I overslept and I went to game trailers, and the front page had the Mega Man reveal, and I was like, oh, okay. So much for the surprise, but I still got a kick out of it, man. It was great.
I still loved going on that one website that I forget which game they had. I think it was Smash 3, where they would announce all the characters that were coming.
Oh, the Smash Dojo?
Yes, that one. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, I was on that every day at school. That's what woke me up in the morning for school, man. Was 6 a.m.
Oh my god!
So there was a when they announced one of the items, I think it was the sticky bomb.
Yeah.
And the caption, I think it was stuck to Kirby's head, and I said, "Hey, now where are you sticking that thing?"
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I went, and this was like the first Photoshop thing I ever did. I took that, and there was a comic from VG Cats,
okay,
about Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2. There was a whole thing with the card key,
Mm-hmm.
And the card key, like to get the different card keys, like you had to go into a place that was cold, you had to go to a place that was hot, and he's being told you have to warm that up, Snake, and then he's just sticking it somewhere. So I've got that picture over the picture of Kirby. Hey, now where are you sticking that thing?
Okay. Alrighty then, that was a little awkward.
People never get the reference because they didn't know about the dojo.
Yeah,
So
very
now-
true. Sorry, David.
So now that we talked about what we really wanted to talk about, Will,
Go
you
on.
crack me up, man.
I'm finding that right now. I'm sending it to you guys.
That was the joke itself. It's like we finally talked about what we really wanted to talk about, sticking things in where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Yep. That's a very weird one. Ay. Oh my god. There was another thing that I wanted to bring up. I'm hoping it's still going on. There's a New Year's, I can't talk today, digital sale going on the Switch. So there's a lot of good sales going on. So definitely check those things out. Has anybody else looked?
I haven't looked at the sale, but the last game I picked up was, if you guys haven't checked it out, Sydney Hunter by Collector Vision Games. I think it was half off, so I think it was only $10.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's a platformer game that just came out.
Gamester 81. Yeah.
Gamester 81, because I backed his Kickstarter and I got it on Super Nintendo. So it's a full series. Sydney Hunter, he made it for Super Nintendo. I think it's on like ColecoVision, made a Switch version. And it's a fantastic game. I played it literally all day on my day off and 100% completed it.
Yeah, John's a great guy. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I do know him.
Oh, here, William, there's another thing I wanted to bring up. Is there any news for the Amico anytime ever since last we've said?
Not recently. There was a brief demo they released. It was very brief, and they had the animation that they released for it. But other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot. Oh, no, wait. They were talking about the controller. There was a whole video about just the controller and how they've changed the controller around some.
Mm-hmm.
So the placement of the buttons is going to be different. Yeah, so normally on the controller, I use my phone as an example, the buttons would be up here. Well, now they're doing it where there's 2 buttons here and 2 buttons down here.
Okay.
So they're making it a little easier, so when you turn it like this to play, you have the buttons and the controls on the other side.
Yeah, I watched the video that you sent me about that, and I thought it was interesting because that they said that there was going to be an app where you can essentially just always have a controller without having to buy one, or at least buy an extra one, I should say.
Yeah, that so people don't have to go, because people know how to use their phones for stuff. But then I've seen people bring up, well, then how come they're not just releasing it and having people just do stuff on their phones? I'm like,
it defeats the purpose. Personally, I would want to have the actual controller and the dial pad, and to be able to see like the digital overlays show up on the screen and everything.
Yeah.
Ever since you showed me the plug-and-play version of the Intellivision, I'm actually like really wanting this Amico. And I did not grow up with Intellivision at all. That was the first time I had ever touched anything like it. So, but Russ, do you have anything Intellivision related?
No, I grew up. My first system was the Atari 2600, and I never got to play Coleco or Intellivision growing up. So I went from Atari straight to Nintendo.
Well, my first was Super Nintendo with Super Mario World, and that's why I like Mario so much. But there was a point I was trying to get at too. Yeah, I'm spacing. Okay, William, keep going about the controller though. I cut you off before.
Yeah, they're using a different charger instead of the key charging they were originally going to use. They found out it was going to be more costly to do that, so they're going to do something similar, but not the same type of charging. But it's still going to be wireless charging. You're still going to be able to put the controller on the system and charge it from there.
Okay. Oh, that was the point I was going to bring up. How does I'm assuming everybody has heard that Earthworm Jim is going to be a new exclusive game on the Amico. Does anybody have any speculation on how it will be? Whether it will be like a 3D one for like the N64 or a side scroller?
As far as I know, it's supposed to be a side scroller. At least that's the way I interpret how they're talking about stuff. But in terms of exclusivity, if it does get released on other stuff, it won't have certain features in it.
Well, yeah.
That's one thing with their exclusivity is there's gonna be features exclusive to the Amigo version.
I'm assuming it's probably not going to leave the Amico, honestly, unless it like blows up in popularity. I mean, when's the last time we had an Earthworm Jim game? I think it is the N64 one, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Which I personally like that game a lot. But...
And then him having the cameo in Clay Fighters.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's another great one. I missed that game.
I mean, he could always be announced for Smash, so...
If they announced Earthworm Jim for Smash, that is probably the one that I would be like freaking out about, because that would just be so cool to me. Well, William, wouldn't you agree on there?
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see him there.
I personally think he would be the perfect fighter, just imagining just how he controlled in like the Super Nintendo games and just stuff like that in general. I think he would be a pretty cool fighter. I can imagine him having like his final smash or the smash ball or something like that involving the Crow character or the Evil the Cat.
Yeah.
No, I was going to think of something. Maybe he would like throw you somewhere and then get on his rocket in space and like fly and hit you or something like that. That'd be cool.
I totally agree there.
Groovy!
I would want to see something with launching the cow too. I would have to see that. Who else is excited for the Sonic movie? And have you seen that new trailer for it?
Looks so good, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched the new trailer where apparently he's like a baby Sonic and gets his shoes or something like that. Has anybody else watched that one?
I did.
I haven't seen that one.
That's the Japanese. I think it's Japanese only right now.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just saw pictures.
The Japanese love baby Sonic.
Yeah, there's a baby craze going on, man.
Oh,
Baby
that's
Yoda.
what it was. I saw the picture of baby Sonic, and it was like baby Sonic got nothing on Yoda or whatever. And I was like, well, where's that from? I guess it's from the trailer then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up after the show here. I'm excited and definitely glad that the production company, I forget who it was or who it is right now, that they went through the time and money to actually redo essentially what seems like the whole movie.
Yeah, it was,
well, here's this, because I saw a video. If you want to dive into this,
I do.
And people are saying, what if the Sonic movie, the new trailer that we've seen, has always been the movie, but they released the garbage trailer to get so much hype and talk about the movie that it was like free advertising that helped it. They're like, we'll put this out. We know people aren't going to like it, but they're going to talk about it and it's going to trend all over. Because redoing the entire movie in character, like, it seems like it would take a lot longer.
True. I don't know. What's other people's thoughts on this one? That's out to the chat as well. But William, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this movie.
I don't know. It does seem like it may be plausible, but it's like never, unless somebody is within the production team that's going to like, yeah, this happened the whole time. I don't think that information's ever actually going to get out if it actually did happen that way.
No, yeah, it would never leak. But like, yeah, they would have only rendered and made that weird Sonic just for that portion of the trailer, and like they were still working.
It's a very cheeky conspiracy. It's really funny and just food for thought. But I follow Tyson Hesse or Hesse, however you pronounce his last name.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that does all the Sonic shorts on the at Sega. I don't know if you guys ever seen the new shorts that they do, the animated shorts.
Okay.
He was contracted by Sega a few years ago to do some of the comic book stuff. But he was brought on to Paramount Vancouver to be lead designer for the redesign. And I think he caught wind of that conspiracy that was going around, and he's like, trust me, guys, I didn't just lose my hair for a conspiracy here. It's legit or something like that. So I don't know, man. I think that they definitely, by the way, it's sad that they, Vancouver Paramount is no longer a thing before the movie has even released. That kind of sucks. I hope those guys find work soon.
Very true.
But I'm really excited for the movie. I was even, even with that weird design a few months ago or almost a year ago now, I was just excited that Sonic was going to be in the silver screen, man. Ever since a kid, what those lunch table conversations where you're saying that, hey, Cloud's going to be in Smash one day. One of them was like, man, they're going to make a Sonic movie, and this day finally, it's going to come. So.
Yeah, that's very true. I agree there. I mean, either way, I was going to end up watching this movie, even with that weird, creepy one. But now seeing like this perfect CGI render that we have in the new movie, I'm definitely way more excited to see this version of it now. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know if they were just holding back certain dialogue points, but in that new trailer that they released, it just seemed like he seemed more Sonic. Like the original one didn't to me.
Oh, definitely. It was cut way better to make it more exciting and appeal to what his character. And he had the way the animation on Sonic's face gave him more expression than the other Sonic that they had. You can tell different expressions making down. The more cute factor, of course, leads into it and not Nightmare.
Valid point. Spence, did you have anything to say about the Sonic movie?
Just it looks pretty decent. I think the original design was good enough, but I think it was probably better to go for the redesign because a lot more people are now going to be going to see it because of the previous era. Like, an era made something quite good, I suppose.
Yeah, very true. I mean, I think it does. It's definitely going to have a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon because the production company actually listened to the fan outreach and went through the work to actually change it. So I think it's going to get a lot of publicity just because of that. But then also kind of ties into what Russ was saying. But I don't know. We shall see. But it definitely. I also think that Jim Carrey plays an awesome Robotnik. That just wanted to throw that one out there. I think.
Yeah, even
cool.
in the recut trailer, he feels like a better Robotnik with his jokes and everything.
I'm very excited to see how that ends up. And I like the meme picture that you see a picture of the live action Pikachu, and then you see live action Sonic, and it says like the Smash Universe movie is almost underway. That would be so hard to do. I still remember there was rumors a while ago that the production company that has Minions and Despicable Me, it was said to have had Mario under their umbrella to be able to make a movie about them. I don't know how true that was. Mm-hmm. Anybody know information about that?
I heard that was a thing, but I don't know. I mean, the things have changed. Things have changed, or things could have changed, but I don't know.
I'm sure they had something, but they reset it. I'm sure it's something to do with like how they restarted the whole movie.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to see there. I mean, there's still whispers within the Funko pop figure community that the Nintendo Pops are going to end up being made, and all we have right now is the Pokemon. So I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. I would still say, just like Ken, I would be throwing money at Funko if they start doing that. I don't know about anybody else.
And then do we get a crossover with Funko and Amiibo?
Oh my dude! Don't even
Funko
say
Pops that have Amiibo access.
Russ, I am too much of an Amiibo nerd. I can't. I can't do that.
And Devin, we're running late on the show, and I gotta get going. I gotta go to work.
All right. Man. So yeah. Anybody else have anything to say before we head out?
I think I'm good.
Not really.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you all for joining in. Russ, awesome, and everybody who joined in to come and watch us tonight. So the show should be back on Move Over Kids channel next week, provided Ken is back from his vacation. So thanks again, and see you later. Bye-bye now.
See ya.
Okay. And we are done, I think. Yes, we're done. All right, dude. William,
all right.
Peace out. Enjoy work.
Right.
Don't get killed.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
I got to go too, man. See you guys.
All right, David. So, yeah, I'll talk to you soon, brother. Russ, dude, thank you again for joining in. It really meant a lot. I'm sorry for the last time with Ken. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I was like waiting around.
Wait,
I was like, I got no link. So I was
what
like,
even
all right,
did
whatever.
happen last time?
we had a time, and then I said, okay, I'll be on. And I got home again. I think 8:00, so I got home at 7:30, and I was messaging them like, "Hey, what's the link? Like, let me know." And then it was like 8:00, and then I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, like I got nothing, and then they messaged me back like 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Well, what the heck?"
I apologize. I don't want that to sour you there. Like, I know you got much bigger perspective here when it comes to YouTube. Ken's got like 2,000 subs. I only have 65. So I'm just trying to get up in the world here. I'm just starting, thanks to my obsessive toy collecting. So that's all I've been doing lately. But dude, it really means a lot that you joined in, and I would love to have you come on again.
Yeah, we could play more in the future. This way we could promote it more. Yeah, I just did a tweet out in the Facebook share. I guess we got a few people from that, so that's good.
Oh yeah, it helped me a lot.